What's up YouTube? My name's Alan. Thank you very much for watching Practical Survival. I really do appreciate it. Today I've got the ex-Ghurka Kukri house, Operation Afghanistan Kukri. So this is the Kukri that they are shipping with their soldiers who are serving in Afghanistan. It's a very nice knife. The blade comes relatively sharp. That is not a shaving sharp edge, but it is a convex edge, so it'll sharpen up real nice on the work sharp. It does have a single fuller running down, which is kind of cool. Gives it a nice unique look to it. Got a handguard here and several finger grooves cut into this handle, with the knife end being this flat piece of metal right here with a lanyard hole. So this pommel, you could get a little bit of crushing done with it. You could use it for an attitude adjuster if you needed to. Doesn't really feel like it's a 90-degree spine, so I don't think you're going to be striking a ferro rod with it. If you wanted to make it a 90-degree spine, it's definitely something you could solve with a belt sander, and then you could scrape a ferro rod with it. So that's something to think about. This is a thick, really thick handle. I have extra large size hands, so if you have small hands, I don't think this is going to be the knife for you, because it is a really, really thick handle. The knife is a full tang knife, so the blade still runs the entire way and actually comes out to this exposed pommel back here. I'm not real sure what type of wood this is. Usually when they come out with their rosewood handles, it's darker, so I don't think this is rosewood, but it could be. I'm not real sure. You do have 3 pins securing it onto the handle, securing these wooden handle scales onto the handle of the knife. So this knife is stamped here, EGKH for ex-Ghurka Kukri house, and on this back side it is stamped Nepal. So we're just gonna do a little bit of batoning with this knife. We're gonna do a little bit of chopping, and then we may even do some feather sticks, but this wood I'm working with today is root wood. It's the root of an old tree that we chopped up, so it's really spongy wood, so it doesn't feather really at all. I'll get some curls off of it, but it's really not going to feather at all, not very well. So let's move the camera and we'll show you how well this knife actually works. Okay, start with a little batoning. See how well this knife does. Move the angle a little bit. Okay, so it batons fairly well. Even with that fuller in there, it actually does baton fairly well. Once you get further past on the belly of the blade, you don't really want to get the wood back here. That's too steep of an angle. It really didn't want to go in for me. I had to move it further up to this belly in order for it to baton the way it should have batoned. So that's something to keep in mind with this. Now let's try a little bit of chopping. I've already chopped with another kukri on this piece of wood, so we're just going to go on the back side of it here and see how well she chops. So it's a decent chopper. It's not a great chopper. The weight is forward here. I'm not getting any hand shock with this, which is great. There's no hand shock whatsoever transferring through this handle, which is great, because the other kukri I just tested, I got a lot of hand shock through, but this one, I mean, it doesn't hurt at all. It no hand shock whatsoever. So that's good. Let's see if I can't get a few curls made. So you get some decent curls. They are thicker curls, but you can get some decent curls made. This wood is not the best for making feather sticks at all. It's really spongy. So, but if you need to get it done, you can definitely get it done with this knife. One thing this knife does not have is what's commonly referred to as the collie, or the blood groove, or whatever you want to call it. It's not, they don't have that here. Instead, they've got a ground piece right here, which I really like, because I can sharpen the entire edge of this really easily. I really like not having that little piece cut in here. It kind of looks like a hoof, and but this knife does not have that, which I really like. I like that a lot, that it doesn't have that. So I mean, if you needed to choke up on this blade, you can, that is wide enough, you can definitely get your finger up here and really choke up and get some fine detail work done with this. But this is a heavy blade, so I mean, it's a little unwieldy choking up to get some fine work done. You still got a lot of weight up here forward on this blade that you got to contend with trying to get anything done up close. This is a beautiful knife. Now, they do sell this on their website, Ghurka Kukri House. They also sell this on Amazon. It's available. This is an 11-inch Operation Afghanistan Kukri, and it's available for about $70 on Amazon. So if you have Amazon, and it's an Amazon Prime item, so if you have Amazon Prime, you can also get this with free 2-day shipping. Now, one thing about this knife in particular, now everything on this knife is handmade. The entire knife is all handmade, and that includes the sheath. The sheath is also handmade, but this sheath is a little bit tight. So when I first got this knife, I took it out and I was playing with it a little bit, and I went to put the knife back in. The sheath is just tight enough that I ended up poking the knife through the sheath right here. So it's got a little nick right here in the sheath, and it took me a little bit to figure out that was what was going on before I was able to get the knife back into the sheath. So that is something to consider. Occasionally these sheaths are going to be a little bit tight, and it's going to be a little bit difficult getting this knife in and out since they are handmade. You've got 2 belt loops back here. These are the traditional really stiff leather belt loops that come on most of their kukris. And here you have your Chakmak and your Karta knives here that come with all of their full-size kukris. So this knife does come in and out of the sheath. I just have to be really careful how I put it in there. Make sure that as I'm pushing it in, that point is pointed down so it doesn't come out this little hole and doesn't get caught up in the back. So just like that. This is a beautiful knife. It'll go great in anybody's collection. This is also a usable knife, so if you want to use it for clearing brush, using it for camp, every time I go camping I've got a kukri with me. Every single time I go out I have a kukri, and I really enjoy kukris while I'm camping because they do so much. They're great choppers, they're great at splitting wood. If you need to get some fine stuff done, some feather sticks and stuff like that, these knives will do that. So it's a great camp knife in my opinion. It is, if you're weight conscious, if you're an ultralight backpacker or something like that, this knife may not be for you because it is a heavy knife. But for everybody else, I think this will make an outstanding camp knife or house chores or whatever you want to use it for. Now this knife did get most of its fame for its use in combat, but in Nepal this is a multi-tool. It's used as a multi-tool in Nepal. I mean, everything in their villages, from using in the kitchen to clearing brush to their religious sacrifices. I mean, this knife is used for everything in Nepal. It's not just a combat knife, though that is where it gained most of its popularity, is through its uses in combat. And of course this knife specifically was designed for combat in Afghanistan. So you might want to keep that in mind when you buy this knife. This will do most tasks well. It won't do any one particular task outstanding, but it will do most tasks well. So that is that. That is the Ghurka Kukri House Operation Afghanistan Kukri. So that's it for me, guys. I'm going to go ahead and leave it with that. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we've got some more videos coming down the pipe for you. So check these guys out on xghurkakukrihouse.com, and also check them out on Amazon. They have quite a few knives on Amazon, and they're reasonably priced. Most of them are Amazon Prime, so you can get them within 2 days of shipping for free. So check them out there as well. My name's Alan, and I thank you very much for watching Practical Survival. I really do appreciate it. We'll see you guys later.